Hey guys, and welcome back to Hoosier Hardware, and today we're going to be taking a look at each of the core components of a PC build and see just what the market looks like, at least as of right now. And this is just a very brief overview, so you can kind of see what parts are good buys right now versus what parts may not be so great. But before we do that, I do want to highlight this little SanDisk flash drive, and the great party trick is, and you've seen these before, it has a USB-A port on one side, but then if you swing that lever clear back to the other side, you get a USB Type-C port, which completely eliminates the need for absolutely any dongles. It does also have little holes here that you can thread through one of those little keychain ring things, so you can actually put this on your keychain. It is tiny though. I mean, this is incredibly small. In fact, this is my earbud case and this is the flash drive. So this thing is absolutely tiny. I will link it in the description down below. It's also quite inexpensive in general, so go ahead and check out that link down below in case you want to check one of these things out, because it's kind of nice to have storage on the go at all times on your person, and that's why I almost always have a flash drive on my keys. So with that in mind, let's hop over to these components. Like I said, this is going to be a very brief overview of the market. If you want to check out more about GPUs in particular, see my last video, which I will try to remember to put a card here for that. But basically, the GPU market is falling in price, and to sort of underscore that just a little bit, on AMD's website right now, you can purchase an RX 6900 XT for MSRP directly from AMD. And the unique thing about this listing has been up since yesterday at least, and possibly more as of the recording of this. So these cards are not flying off the shelves the way they once were. Now, obviously, there may be incoming GPUs later on down the road this year. But the thing is, these GPUs are completely unpredictable with how the market has gone. So if I were you, if you find a GPU that you're interested in, go ahead and purchase it. Now, with all that said, I will say the market is completely unpredictable when it comes to GPUs. You know, I thought back when the RX 6000 lineup was coming out, as well as the RTX 3000 lineup, I thought that maybe the shortage would just be a few months, and obviously it just persisted and persisted. So if you find a GPU that you're comfortable paying the price that it's currently listed at, go ahead and jump on that. I would actually also recommend the EVGA B-Stock website during their midweek madness sales. I just picked up last week an RTX 3060 for very near MSRP, just barely above MSRP. So point being, GPUs are coming down in price. It is a bit of a gamble to go ahead and buy one now, knowing it may be cheaper next week, but at the same time, you don't know what the GPU market's doing. So that's my overview there. Now, the CPU market is much more straightforward. Basically, if it's out right now, you can probably find it at MSRP, if not slightly below MSRP. So I recommend go ahead and just purchasing exactly the CPU that you're looking for. Keeping in mind, though, the motherboards are gonna shift the cost of the platform. So just because maybe an Intel platform that does what you need it to looks cheaper when you're looking at a CPU, maybe the motherboard that you want is a little bit more expensive. So when you do go for your CPU purchases, consider both the motherboard and the CPU together to give yourself a better idea of just how much the platform costs. That being said, motherboards are also pretty close to on par, AMD versus Intel motherboards, price for price. So I don't know that you're going to see a big shift in the platform cost, but it is something worth noting. And just to give you a little bit of an idea, here we have some AMD B550 motherboards, and what you see here is the very inexpensive ones are anywhere from $84 to around $95 for the cheap ones, and then you very quickly get up to that sort of $100 range. If you pop over to the Intel platform, you're looking at $93, $95, $100. So maybe the Intel ones are slightly more expensive, but I don't know that it's enough to really shift your buying decision one way or the other. Now, memory is a completely different story. If you're looking for value whatsoever, just skip on DDR5. And to sort of highlight that point here, the cheapest 16 gigabytes of DDR5 you can find right now looks like it's around $115 for a single stick. If you're looking for a pair of sticks, you're going to be running around $210 for admittedly nice looking RAM in general. Oh, I lied. Here we are. Here we are, we have some Kingston Fury Beast. That's a 16 gigabyte kit. That's only $140, which is like twice as much as its DDR4 counterparts. In fact, if we pop over here, yeah, it looks like DDR4 is literally half as expensive. And I understand if you're buying DDR5, you're probably just looking for the absolute best out there right now, which is perfectly fine. But if you're a value hunter, DDR4 is still the platform for you. DDR5 is not there yet on the value front. Moving over to storage. Storage is a little bit more expensive now than it was recently, but you can still find a 1 terabyte NVMe drive for under $100, no problem. So storage does tend to fluctuate quite a bit when it comes to SSDs. There for a while, we were down to the point where you could find a 1 terabyte NVMe drive for $60 all day long. Now they are going back up in price just a little bit, but you are still seeing some decent pricing there. So if you're building, I would go ahead and buy the capacity that you're looking for now, because again, the pricing might go up. Now, as far as power supplies, I always default to the EVGA B-Stock website for my power supplies because they do come with a warranty. You can normally get very good wattages and very good units in general for extremely affordable pricing. So I actually recently bought an 850 watt SFX unit from the B-Stock website for something like, I don't know, I want to say it was like $90, $80, something like that. So these are very, very affordable units. So I would just default to going to this. So cases. Cases are the last item here, and cases continue to be about what they have been. You can find a really solid mid-tower PC case for in that $55 to $60 range. If you're looking for more fans, more RGB, that sort of thing, you might want to be looking more in that $70, $80, $90 range. But again, there are some really good options. I, for my part, would absolutely recommend the Fantex Eclipse P360As here because they're great, and yeah, they have mesh. So, airflow. So as an overview, that's a very quick run through of kind of the pricing that you can look for when you're building a good yet value-oriented PC. The great news though is because the GPU market is at least starting to come down to earth and there are some actual deals available, especially on the used market locally, you can actually now put together a gaming PC for a reasonable price tag here in, we're getting on now to mid-2022. How long this market sticks around, I don't know. Fingers crossed that the GPU market continues to go south and not back north again. But for the most part, let's hope that these prices stick around and things do remain affordable. But hey, that's just my take on the current market. Those are kind of the prices that you can expect to pay. Those of you out there that have put together a gaming PC in the recent past, though, let us know in those comments down below how you did. Were there any great values? Did you find any fantastic deals or anything like that? Just let us know all of the details in those comments down below. Again, this flash drive from SanDisk is linked down there as well because it is a great value. And with that, I'm just gonna go ahead and run away now. So thank you for watching, and YouTube can put some videos around me so you can keep watching if that's what you want to do. Bye.